Good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. We are live on Metro TV. It is another beautiful and inspiring Thursday. We are live on the Leadership 360 program. It's amazing how far we have come. All too soon, we are getting closer to the end of season 1. And today is yet another episode, episode 16. We have a special guest in studio. And it is my singular honor, once again, to have you as our cherished viewers and audience. My name is Dr. Victor Abbey. Let's take a quick message from our sponsors, God PLC, FV Global Consult, V5 Solutions Limited, and we shall be right back to continue the conversation.
I promise on my honor to be a better leader every day, faithful and loyal to my country, organization, and fellow team members, countrymen and women. I pledge myself to remain true to the core values of integrity and self-discipline through my daily choices and actions. My mind is alert, focused at all times. I shall show respect to everyone always and every time. I remain a better leader and team player always. So I pledge.
Welcome back, cherished viewers and audience. We are live on DSTV channels 277 and VOL online radio as well this afternoon. Tell a friend that we are also available live on Metro TV Ghana Facebook link. You can watch us live, and let's have a very, fruitful conversation this afternoon. So far, we have treated such topics that have been exciting to you. We have dealt with team dynamics or leadership dynamics, where we have Captain Prince Kofi Amabin on this show. He took us through a lot. Last week, we dealt with the personal leadership brand, or the leadership brand, where we had interesting, lessons that were taught. Today, we're going to have some discourse on, or very detailed discourse on the topic leadership and succession. And we're going to do that with a special guest in studio. Without much ado, let me have a quick introduction of our guest, and we shall continue the conversation. Our guest is affectionately known as Auntie Amoah. She has over 20 years of rich experience in banking industry and business sector. Having worked with First Atlantic Bank within customer service, HR, and admin, Asion International as the hub manager, Global Assets as head of sales and marketing, First Trust Savings and Loans as head of business development, and later general manager. She was also the chief business officer of All Time Finance and the MD of Priority View Homes. She is currently the chief executive officer of Ghana India Trade Advisory Chamber, GITAC. She is a council member and a consulting director for HR admin and finance, and also the chairperson of Publicity, Publication, International Relations Committee, all within the office of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, CIMG. She is a consulting director for strategy and growth with Cruise People. She is also a freelance marketing consultant on various assignments within the hospitality industry and organizations on brand audits, restructuring, change management, growth, and suitability training and development. She's a managing partner as well. It goes on and on and on and on. But I'll be quick to go and spell out some of the other areas. She's the vice president of University of Professional Studies Alumni Accra, chartered member and member of CIM, that's Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, and Ghana and UK, and Executive Council member of Ghana Institute of Management, fellow of the Institute of Directors, Ghana. She was also a board member of Ghana Association of Savings and Loans. She's also served on Deposit Protection Scheme Implementation Committee of the Bank of Ghana. She's known, her immense contribution to the banking industry won her the Marketing Personality of the Year at the U.P.S.A. Alumni Awards for 2016. She holds an MBA and degree in marketing from University of Professional Studies and Methodist University, respectively, an associate member with HR Certification Center. She is known to be assertive, agile, result-oriented, and performance-driven. All those she has mentored acknowledge her favorite quote, which is, the greatest act of leadership is mentoring. No matter how much you may learn, achieve, accumulate, or accomplish, if it all dies with you, then you are a generational failure. Success without a successor is failure. That's by Miles Monroe. Cherished viewers and audience, on the show today, on this program today, is an amazing Ghanaian by name Amoah. Amoah, welcome to Leadership 360.
Thank you so much.
And I just remembered, you celebrated your birthday yesterday as well. Belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we pray for greater grace upon your life and greater things to come.
Amen.
What will be your initial comments? You have watched the Leadership 360 for a while. What will be your initial comments?
I believe you're doing a great work. And, if we learn and we don't teach our generation, we are equally failures. And this is a very good platform for both the employees, employers, and the general public to really understand the metrics of business, the metrics of organization, the metrics of success, and even failures. So I would want to commend you and commend Metro TV for this work that you're doing. And it shouldn't stop here. I believe that it is impacting a lot of lives.
Thank you. We are grateful. Kudos to the producer, the technical team, and yourselves for supporting this program.
Thank you.
Now, to set the ball rolling, it's said that the long-term health of every organization is leadership continuity. That means it has something to do with succession. And it is also said that getting the right skills in place at all times is what gives birth to the health or the quality of health of every organization. What does leadership and leadership development per se, what does it mean to you?
Basically, leadership is being able to have an objective, a goal, a focus to achieve or to have an end result. It doesn't just end there. It is pulling along your theme with the same aim of achieving. It doesn't just end there. And also having a plan of continuity. So that is not just leadership, but good leadership. And if I will go further, we don't talk about just leadership. We talk about transformational leadership. That is another thing to talk about. Yes.
We have actually dealt a lot we've spoken a lot about different types of leadership, transformational, the transformative nature of leadership and all that. But we'll definitely touch a bit on that.
Sure.
But let me be quick to say, you said leadership entails if I get this right, a process of having an objective and pursuing that objective along with the team and ensuring that at any point in time, everybody is well aligned.
Good.
And a group of people or some others are in a position to move on with that objective, even when you, the one who started it off, you're not there.
Good.
Okay, thank you very much. That's just a summary for our listeners. Yeah. Now, from your practice, we also discussed that you know, leadership, as you rightly said, is about developing others to take over after you. What does leadership development? Can you throw a little bit more light on leadership development?
Leadership development is basically being able to identify. You may search or you may not search, but you should be able to identify the kind of skill set you want. You should be able to identify the talent that you're looking for. You should also be able to identify the abilities or the capabilities that you think that the organization will need. So when you are able to identify such, it doesn't end there. The next step is then to bring them into the pool of training, developing them, tuning them into what you want to see them be. So training, coaching, mentoring, sometimes giving them assignments, all right, to orient their minds that you are the next leader. So be in that seat, all right, and let's see how you would perform. More like a pilot program. And another thing too is being able to have that culture that when you come into this organization, will prepare you for succession. So it's part of the training, it's part of the development, it's part of the orientation. So at the end of the day, you get the best crop of, you know, the kind of people that you would want to, you know, prepare them.
So I get the impression that you must be intentional about exactly what the caliber of people you want around the team or within the team, and plan accordingly. Identify those people and groom them to be able to carry on. That also touched a bit on creating a culture that will resonate well with the long-term objective of the organization. So if you are developing leaders aimed at ensuring continuity, as in succession. We will come to succession planning, how you go about it and all that. But if you are in your drive to ensuring you develop leaders to be in a position to continue, what are some of the things that you need to look out for? The individuals within the team. You said identifying traits. Identifying talents. What are some of the behavioral traits that a leader should look out for?
All right. Behavioral traits. 1 is character. 2, good communication skill. 3, team spirit. 4, result-oriented person. 5, solution-oriented or solution-driven. And 6 is someone who has that longevity, that mindset for future growth, future success, not just today, not just I want to achieve or make my target this month and within the year and I'm done. No. You are a futurist. So these are the attributes that
a leader should look out for in team members. And if a situation where these things are not, does the leader have a role to play in impacting on the behavior of the team members in their effort to exhibit some of these things?
The leader has about 98% role to play. Because if the leader is not, sorry to say, an assertive leader, is not a transformational leader, is not a leader of people, people-oriented, it becomes difficult for this young people coming up. Why? Because this leader can be, sorry to say, very insecure, all right? Though in quotes, because we assume that if you're a leader, you should be a good leader. But there are people in leadership positions who have their own challenges and they pass it on. And it becomes like a block to this new set of people coming in. So sometimes the leaders they may be incompetent themselves. They don't have any sense of vision, all right? It's just all about them. They don't want any kind of competition. I started it, I did it, and the name should remain with me. But it doesn't work like that. It means you're a failure. As Miles Monroe said, if you are so successful in everything you do, but in your absence, nobody is there, then you're a double failure.
Okay. So it means that leaders must be conscious of the kind of culture or the kind of behavior they put out there themselves.
Thank you. The culture, I love the word culture, which means that it should be part of the company. And as you rightly said, it should be purposeful, intentional. So when it happens, everybody has that mindset that this is an organization that thrives in succession.
Okay. So the confidence in the organization or the institution itself will increase because of the kind of behavior the leader or the leaders will put up for others to emulate.
Yeah, and just to cut in a little, still on the culture, you must have a style. Your culture must have a style. The moment they mention your brand, people should
be able... the point I was going to make.
People should be able to attest that, this is Metro. This person is coming from Metro because there's a style that is so unique. You must have a kind of a structure that is, that speaks the process. You must have the stuff that leaves the culture. Because if you don't tune your staff to leave the culture, culture eats strategy. It eats it up. For breakfast. Okay. So these are some of the pointers that is good to look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, last week we spoke about the leadership brand, and I did indicate that the leadership brand is critical to leadership success because others look at you. Sure. How do you come across? How do they perceive you? And I'm happy you are reiterating the same points this afternoon. So let's quickly now go into the argument or the statement that, when times are uncertain, difficult, turbulent, where change is so, rapid and all that, that's the time for even a more reason why you need to plan for succession. What is succession planning?
Right. So succession plan or planning is a business strategy whereby an organization or an individual, a group of people, have in mind for future continuation or future growth of their business, decides to have a plan of identifying, separating, and grooming set of person or persons to be able to fill in a vacancy in the leadership role if the leader is there or is not there. So it's a plan of preparing persons or person to stand in a leadership role. Yeah.
So it's a strategy.
It's a strategy.
And again, I want to remind our cherished viewers and audience that intentionality comes in here.
Very.
Because you must be intentional about creating a strategy for succession. It doesn't happen in a vacuum.
No.
Okay.
No.
So if that is succession planning, to deliberately define how you're going to fill or identify roles to fill and so on and so forth, can you throw a little bit light on how we should go about it?
All right.
A little bit more detail. So that
all right. How to have
how to come out with a succession plan.
Okay.
Or the planning process.
All right. So first of all, as we said, it has to be deliberate, intentional. So you look at the model, all right, or the approach. And one, either you have an open or a closed pool of people so that you can identify the kind of talent, the kind of skill set, the kind of abilities. So when you identify them, then you migrate them again to the training angle, to the development, to the grooming aspect. You fine-tune them, all right, prepare them. Then the next stage is give them the room to exhibit what they have learned so far, because they need to learn to unlearn and relearn. Okay, so when you give them the room, then you can evaluate them to see their level of competence, their abilities, their skill set and everything. After that, you move to the next level where you give them assignment, tasks of a leadership role. Now, Dr. Abbey is not on set next week. Baby, you will be on the seat of doctor, so play that role. So immediately the person, baby, fine-tunes himself that all the training I've been through, this is a time I need to prove myself. Because you need to give them the room to prove themselves. If you train them and you don't give them the room to prove themselves, it's also a recipe for disaster. So out of that, then you will see what they are made of. And not just that, you keep trimming them until you get a sizable number where you make the right choice for the succession.
Okay. Yeah. So I sense delegation as part of the process of creating succession, because the leaders must learn to delegate as well. Do I have that sense from your submission?
Yes, leaders must, because delegation is one of the major attributes to a good leader. Okay. Because if you don't delegate, how then can the person prove himself to you? How then can you come in to assist the person? Because, I mean, a leader, you already have the experience. The one coming needs you, all right, but so you give him the room, so you give them the space, they will not be able to. So delegation is a key role.
Cherished viewers and audience, today we are gradually getting to that space where Amoah will give us more information regarding, in fact, free tutorial on, if you're an HR person, this is an opportunity for you to listen in and experience or learn to unlearn and relearn, so that you can accelerate your process of creating a succession plan for your organization. Amoah, you mentioned earlier about transformative leadership. Can you take us a little bit back before I continue to ask my questions relating to succession planning?
Okay, so even in the the transformational and the transformative, we have this transformational leadership whereby you come in, you bring a change like a banger, boom. It ends there. That's not the kind of leadership we're looking for. Okay. We're looking for, you drop a banger today, the next month another one is coming. The next couple of months another one is coming. It is the innovation, the consistency of the change, of the innovation, of the emergence that makes you a transformational and transformative leader. And I can give an example to that. Right. I mean, Steve Jobs. Okay. Let's look at the Apple. Okay. It started from somewhere. And this man, as a good transformative leader, didn't stop at the success they chopped. But basically, every year or every 6 months or a couple of months, new things keep evolving. Things keep evolving. So now Apple is the lead, gadget so far across the world. Another person I would say is, of course, Barack Obama. He came in as a great change, but during his reign, he didn't stop there. He came in with a lot of emerging things that really impacted the world, not just US. The last person I'll talk about is Oprah Winfrey. This is a broadcaster who started from somewhere, but look at her stage of life. At every stage, she brings in something. Every stage, she brings in something. So the whole world is glued to her because they know that definitely this woman comes with something different all the time. So these are the kind of transformational leaders we are looking for. Not the one who comes in with a banger and that is it, goes to sleep No. You are not content with your level of success. Okay. You keep thriving until you get there.
So for one to be a transformational and transformative leader, you need to constantly monitor the space and see what is, in vogue,
yes,
and what can be done to solve those challenging issues.
Constantly.
That's constantly.
Yes.
Now, your examples are included some of our brothers in the diaspora, but within our African space, the African continent, can you give us an example of somebody with same traits that can be described as transformative leader?
All right. We have a lot of them. I think that this is me, ex-President Rawlings. May he so rest in peace. Okay. I mean, everybody may have their mindset or how they see people, okay, but let's put the cards on the table. Mm-hmm. This was someone who really did not stop at a change, but his methodology, okay, was so consistent, was so focused, all to drive Ghana to a better Ghana. Mm. And he achieved that, hands down. Okay. And in the business industry, okay, let's look at our counterpart, the Nigeria, Dangote. Mm-hmm. A very thriving, successful man. But he didn't stop, and he hasn't stopped at the level of success he's chopped. Okay. He's into business from one level to the other, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa, across the global market. Okay. So we have a lot of them.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think now the reason I asked for a revisit of the transformative is for us to have an understanding of what that concept actually means, because you use it, but you needed to explain to us. I'm happy you've done that for us. And the key points from there is that consistency and constantly changing the innovative ideas, good, or bringing on board innovative ideas to bring about change.
And relating it to the current needs
is what is critical, yes, for such a leader.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, let's get back to our succession planning, okay, concept. Do you have any prescribed model for an HR person or manager or director who is interested in understanding how to go about succession planning within? You have mentioned quite a lot of things, but is there a model that you can prescribe? Because to everything, there are models that people can apply. You have been in the space for a long time. Do you have any particular model or a couple of models that you can prescribe for, okay, leaders?
All right. I think I jumped the gun. I mentioned them earlier, okay, in my submission, but just to emphasize again, everyone is entitled to adapt a model that suits you. You may adapt a model because that is what the world is using, but does it suit you? So you as an HR person should be able to identify the space that you find yourself and draw your own model. But the generic model is one, having a pool, all right? Mm-hmm. A pool of persons, mm-hmm, where you can be able to identify the potential, mm-hmm, talents, mm-hmm, the skill sets, mm-hmm, the capabilities, mm-hmm, or abilities. Okay. That is one. Number two, you must have a culture of succession plan. Mm-hmm. It must be embedded. Mm-hmm. It must be a written code in, okay, the company, okay, where we know that this is what we stand for. You know, mm-hmm, I may be Coco Seller's daughter, mm-hmm, but give me the next 10 years, I'll be the CEO of this company. Okay. And that drives passion. Okay. Number three, of course, we talked about the training, the development. We talked about grooming them. Mm-hmm. That is also another thing. And number four, give them the space to exhibit, to show off what they have learned, okay, Then number 5, I think that we should have a way to motivate. If they are doing well, they are doing good, motivate them. Let them know that, you know what, you are on the road to success, and that brings a lot of life in them. And it should not be just within the company. It should be an open thing where if you don't get the kind of talent or the kind of potentials within your company, you should be able to open it up for outsiders. They have their issues, but it's up to you, the HR, to tune them, all right, into your organizational style.
Okay. That's quite loaded. But let me quickly also ask, has all these things that you have mentioned, do they have anything to do with goal setting within the individual goals for a performance period, so that they are embedded in that person's, performance KPI, anything of the sort?
All right. So every human being or every employee has a personal goal. So it's up to you, the HR or the company, to be able to sieve, to know every person what is their personal goal. Some don't want to be at a top level. They just want to be down there. They just want to be in the middle range. They just want to be a team player. They just want. So you should be able to identify and categorize them. Then you sieve to get the kind of persons for the top. And don't forget that it's a ladder. You can never get to the top if the bottom is not solid.
It's not solid.
So from the bottom to the middle, to the mid-range, to the top, you need everybody to be aligned with their personal goal, aligning to the company's goal.
So that also brings to mind vision and mission alignment.
Sure.
So the leader's job also is to ensure that everybody within the organization understands the vision and mission.
That should be a basic thing.
Basic thing.
That should be a basic, and not just understanding. You must live it. You must live it, and you must exude the experience. And mostly we have issues here. Those are the lower, middle, they leave it. But those at the top don't leave it. So you see that we get complications. We see that the leaders are rather, making the work difficult. So from the top, you are a leader, you must leave the brand. You must leave what you say you are. You don't leave it for others and say, oh, I'm the CEO, I'm the so. No, then you are equally a failure.
So leaders must walk the talk.
Thank you.
At all times.
Thank you.
On this note is my call for us to take a quick break, and when we are back, we shall continue the conversation. Amazing discussions. Let's take our first break. Welcome back, cherished viewers and audience. We are live on DSTV channel 277, and the program is brought to you courtesy Goyle PLC and FV Global Consults V5 Solutions Limited. And we are also live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana. Before we continue, we open the full lines and continue the discussion. There's a quick announcement here. Are you an innovator, business leader, entrepreneur, or investor? The Crucible Afrique Innovation and Investment Afrique IIA Summit is here for you. The theme for this summit is Innovation, the key to Africa's sustainable development. The IIA is the gathering of innovators, products and services vendors, investors, and industry players at one point to engage, share growth strategies, and support innovators with financing opportunities. The date is Friday, 29th September. Venue is Rattray Park, Kumasi. The rate for participants is 250 Ghana cedis and exhibitors 500 Ghana cedis. Call or WhatsApp or send WhatsApp text to 0244 799909 or visit the website of www.tarragonedge.net and book your spot as a participant or exhibitor to upscale your innovation and business. The Innovation and Investment Africa Summit is proudly organized by Crucible Afrique Events Dubai in partnership with Tarragon Edge Limited Ghana and FV Global Consult Ghana. Indeed, this is a summit you should not miss. You have a lot of innovative ideas, innovators out there. This is the time for you to go exhibit your products or your services for others to, recognize and possibly have investment opportunities for you, invest in your business. There is also a Lura Summit. This show has run for a while, and we are having a fiscal summit in Kumasi, the Garden City of Kumasi, on 27th of October 2003. It's happening live in Kumasi, and it's free for everyone. Just look out for this space. Sooner than later, you will see the kind of personalities who will be speaking at that summit. You have a lot to learn, and I bet you have nothing to regret about it. It is called the Leadership 360 Lura Summit. Just make a date with us. Before our breather, we were talking about what leadership is, what leadership development is about, what succession planning is, all the things that relate to ensuring that continuity prevails in organizations. And we're going to open the phone lines so our viewers and audience can participate in the conversation. So let me announce the phone lines. We are on, you can reach to us on 0531 982298, 0531 982298. If you are outside the shores of Ghana, you can just add +233 and you'll get to us. You can send your WhatsApp or you can reach us via call, and we will take your calls to address your concerns or take your views as well. The previous episodes of this show are available on my personal YouTube account as Dr. Victor Abbey. You can catch a glimpse of that and you will learn a lot. The show is for us to learn, unlearn, and relearn so as to accelerate the betterment and sustainable development of our society and our communities, country, and continent at large. Amma.
Yes.
Tell us, a leader whose behavior is toxic to the very development or the better development of team members, what should team leaders or team members do about such a person? This one, I want to put you on the spot. A toxic behavior by a leader.
Okay.
The impact on team members. What should the team members do?
The impact of a toxic leader
Yes.
is disastrous.
Mm-hmm.
And is nothing good to write about. But it exists. So the question is, what can be done if we are faced with this kind of leaders? It takes a lot of maturity. It takes you to be very tactical. And it also takes you to be very informative, all right? And it takes you to be passionate. Let me break this down. So maturity is one, the style and approach. The style and approach to your leader. Mm-hmm. You dare not go to him or her, with all the... No. You need a kind of level of maturity which goes with humility and which goes with reasoning.
All right. Just hold it there.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Adam from Tamale.
Good afternoon.
And welcome to Leadership 360.
Yes, I'm very happy for your educative program.
Thank you.
As indicated earlier, my name is Adam Gayina. Okay. I want to find out, when the presenter was giving the speech, she made mention about 3 concepts of a succession leader. I don't know if she can re-echo that. And then secondly, is it possible for a leader to learn from a subordinate during her leadership or his or her leadership role? Thank you very much.
Thank you too. The first one is you mentioned about some 3 areas to focus on when you're looking at succession planning. Mm-hmm. I guess it's talking about when you talk about leadership, talent, and all that. Can you reiterate those points for us? And then is it possible that a leader can learn from the team members?
So let me take it from the bottom.
Okay.
Yes, a leader can and should learn from those from the bottom, because you can't know it all. Mm-hmm. And when you're at the top, what you see is different from when you're down. So to be a comprehensive leader, you must be ready to learn even from the grassroots. Okay. So that is, yes. Right. Then the 3 pointers is one, I think talent. Mm-hmm. You should be identify the talent. Identify the potentials. Mm-hmm. Then you look at the talent, you look at the skills, then you look at the abilities or the capabilities. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Adam, I hope you have been answered. In our local parlance, we say that he who charts the path may not necessarily know how crooked it is. Mm-hmm. So when you are at the top, you are going, you are there, you have a different lens. Mm-hmm. So those who are within or behind may see how you are going and be able to prompt you. So indeed, leaders must open up to learn. Yeah. And that is why on this show we have indicated that leaders must open up themselves to constructive criticism, so as to pick, bits and pieces to shape their own behavior as they move along. So thank you for that submission. I will continue. You were making a point earlier before the caller came in with regards to a leader whose behavior is toxic on the people. Definitely, the team members must be tactical in approaching such a leader. Yes. But what should the leader himself do? Because we just spoke about the fact that leaders must learn as well. What are some of the things that a leader can put in place to identify whether he or she is doing well or not?
All right. So we have the formal and the informal approach. Okay. The formal approach is, we call it a 360 appraisal, whereby those from the bottom appraise you, the leader. And it should be so open that they have every right to say it the way it is. Because you need to hear the truth, not what you want to hear. Yeah. So that's a 360 formal approach. Okay. So to make the employees more secured, some don't even, you can say, don't write your name. Don't, just, it goes through the pool. Okay. So that is one. Okay. Then the informal one is where you have more like an open gathering where everybody, a party or recreational activities. So everybody has the freedom to bring constructive, arguments or issues or pointers down. That is also there. Okay. And you, the leader, you have no right to take anybody on. It should be a culture. You have no right. Okay. The third one is that is the way we used to do formally. You write it and put it in the box. Okay, suggestion box. Suggestion box. Right. Okay. Anonymous. Okay. So these are the approaches. Okay. Yeah. So and if you receive them, please, a leader, if you really want to move on, you need to listen. So the leaders must create the environment for their followers to be able to reach out to them. Yes. If a leader decides that I want to understand my own behavior, I want to understand the situation within my organization by operating an open door policy where anybody can just walk into the leader's office, anytime to talk to the leader. Is that okay? It's also an approach, I would say. To another leader, that is very okay, because he or she wants to get to the grassroots. To another leader, it's waste of time. So it depends on the leadership style. Okay. But it should be a good approach whereby your employees should be able to have time to come to you and talk with you.
Okay. So let's get back. I think a WhatsApp text is indicating that you were on the point of expatiating on the toxic leader. So I guess our viewers want you to talk more on that. Can you please just go on?
So a toxic leader, how do you go about it? So I mentioned your level of maturity has to be very much on point. You must know, what are you going to talk about? You must be so factual. You must be so respectful. You must be so, you're not there to attack his personality, but you are bringing the issue up to be resolved or to bring solution to it. And you are part of the problem and part of the solution. So your maturity approach has to be very tactical. Then the other way too is if there is a line manager who has that clouds, because sometimes the lower ends, no matter what you do, will never. So the line manager should also be able to fit in to carry this message, all right, to the leaders.
Yeah. Okay. So at least, even if you cannot muster that courage to approach the leader tactically,
yes,
you should identify somebody else within a company who has the clout to talk to the leader about those things. Francis, good afternoon from Southport.
Yes, sir, boss.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, boss.
Yeah, welcome to the Leadership 360.
Yeah.
Your points, please.
Boss, some leaders they don't want to even listen to those who are nothing at all. Some leaders, and it is true. When you go to some workplace, you see that when you are even talking, when there's an issue, after finishing issue, discussing that issue, beginning when you see them, they begin to really squeeze their face. And so, what Madam is saying is true. The leaders, they don't listen to those who are under them.
All right. Thank you very much. That is the essence of this program, for us to continuously educate ourselves as leaders so that we can leave a better legacy. Because we have said at the beginning of this show that the lasting value of a leader is measured by succession. How people can fit into your shoes and continue with the vision or the goal of the organization is what makes you a better leader. Somebody from Tamale said, I am W.O. Suleimana, watching from Bolgatanga City. You are both doing a great job. Just keep the fire burning. Airborne is watching. That's my former military unit in Tamale Airborne Force. W.O. Sule, thank you very much. Indeed, Amoah, we have spoken greatly about the qualities that leaders need to exhibit if they are to create a successive, leaders or create greater leaders after them. And those values are something that they need to openly live by and demonstrate. And so on this show, we have what we call the honor code that we prescribe and recommend for leaders. Let's take our honor code and we shall be right back.
I am a proud and firm African. I will take a stand. I will lead and be the change. Come and take my hand. For the safety, honor, and welfare of my country and company come first. Always and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of the people I lead come next. My own ease, comfort, and safety come last. Always and every time.
Welcome back from our honor code. Indeed, our safety, honor, and our own ease must come last, always, as leaders. Francis, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You are the last caller. Please give us your point quickly. We have just less than 2 minutes to go.
All right, please. My point is that if if you have suggested something to your leader, and he or she decided not to take it, what can you do as the subordinate?
All right. Thank you, Amma. A quick
What
one.
can you do? I believe you have weekly reports, you have monthly reports. That tunes into your appraisal. So make sure that you put your weekly report intact, your monthly report, and put everything through. At the end of the day, you have your written evidence, at least. Definitely, your line manager or the leader will stumble at it, will come to it, and that can be a good justification for you.
And also, maybe if I may add up, if you identify another person within the organization also who can air your views on your behalf, that can also, would that also do?
That will also
okay.
do.
Your last words, Amma.
All right. Just a little experience we had in terms of how do you handle if there are issues within the company, but through the leader angle. We had a client who engaged our services in the hotel industry. Now, he has a very amazing multiple hotels. Now, the issue is he needs to move from this level to the next level. Getting to the staff, there's this more like a ceiling. That's it.
Yeah.
He had to engage us as a private consultant to engage the staff. They opened up. We encouraged them to open up. All we needed to do was to get the right feedback from them. And out of it, fine-tune and get the right solution to augment and push the leader up. And it was successful.
That's good. That's good. So at all times, leaders must open up.
Open up.
Cherished viewers, also soon time is up. Here we draw the curtain on today's show. Next week, we're going to look at female traditional leadership. And it's going to be led by Manye Naachucho Soyo the First. She's the president of Ghana Union Congress in the UK. Make a date. Don't miss it for anything. On this note, it's amazing. It's very encouraging having you around. The kind of messages that I'm seeing on the WhatsApp, I believe we have learned a lot today. And thanks to you, Amma, for gracing today with your very insightful submissions. We are grateful to have you in studio, to have heard from you, sharing experience and all that. Viewers, let's see you next week while we continue to learn, unlearn, and relearn to accelerate the betterment of our communities, our countries, and our continent at large. Bye.